Welcome to the weekly roundup of Air News Daily Bulletins, the go-to place to catch up with all the stories that made the news last week.
Chinese carrier Xiamen Air has introduced a twice-weekly service between Quanzhou, a former maritime Silk Road hub in the Fujian province of China, and Cebu in the Philippines. Flights operate on Tuesdays and Saturdays using the carrier's Boeing 737-800s and is planned to operate year-round. Hungarian carrier Wizz Air will be introducing a 3 times weekly service from the Dutch city of Eindhoven to the Armenian capital Yerevan, commencing on the 26th of October. Flights will operate on board the airline's Airbus A321 Neos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, returning the same day. Italian flag carrier IATA Airways will be launching an initial 3 times per week schedule between its Rome home and the Texan city of Houston. Services commence on the 1st of May and will operate on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays, and from the 1st of June the carrier will add Mondays and Saturdays to the schedule. All flights will operate using the airline's Airbus A330-900s. Saudi low-cost operator FlyNAS plans to launch a daily service between Riyadh and Al Qasuma, commencing on the 20th of April using its Airbus A320 family aircraft. The carrier currently offers 16 domestic destinations across the kingdom and a growing network of international services. Transnusa of Indonesia will launch a new twice-daily service between Jakarta and Lombok, commencing on the 17th of April using its Airbus A320s. The new route will bring much-needed additional capacity to the island of Lombok, which has long been a mecca for tourists looking for a little slice of paradise. And who can blame the beautiful part of the world? Akasa Air of India has expanded its domestic network for the summer season with the introduction of twice-daily services between Navi Mumbai and Lucknow. The low-cost carrier has also introduced daily service between Navi Mumbai and Kolkata, and a daily service between Bengaluru and Darbhanga. All services operate using the airline's Boeing 737 MAX 8s. Auckland-based Air New Zealand will introduce a 3 times weekly service between its home hub and Sydney's new Western Sydney International Airport, commencing on the 26th of October. Flights will operate on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays using the carrier's A320 family aircraft. Staying with Western Sydney International Airport, Singapore Airlines has confirmed that it will commence a daily service to its Changi home from the 23rd of November. Flights will operate using the airline's Airbus A350-900s and will complement its existing schedule to Sydney's Kingsford Smith Airport. And finally, Air India and Uzbekistan Airways have signed a new codeshare agreement covering routes between India and, unsurprisingly, Uzbekistan. Under the agreement, codeshare flights are available to Tashkent from both Delhi and Mumbai, as well as a seasonal service between Goa and Tashkent. This relationship will no doubt develop over time, and additional services between the two countries can't be ruled out. That's all for today's routes update, but we will be back with you tomorrow with our regular news bulletin and look forward to seeing you then. Just remember not to have too much chocolate in the meantime. I couldn't say a word. Have a great day. Spanish low-cost operator Volotea recently completed a $15 million capital increase. The funding was secured from a number of sources to include the airline's management team, US investor APR Capital, and the Greek flag carrier Aegean Airlines, who have increased their shareholding in the Spanish carrier to more than 20% as a result of their additional investment. The funds will no doubt be a very welcome arrival given the current instability across the aviation sector caused by the conflict in the Middle East. As it celebrates its 15th birthday, Japan's Peach Aviation, a member of the All Nippon Group, has unveiled a brand refresh which brings a soft, calming new look to the low-cost carrier. Its existing livery is dominated by deep pink colours, but will be replaced with several lighter pink hues and a drop of gold, which the airline states will bring a sense of security and trust combined with playfulness and fun. The logo has also been updated, and we quite like what they've done to modernise their look. Do tell us what you think. Philippine Airlines has reported a $160 million net profit for 2025, a 6.1% increase over the previous year. The Manila-based carrier confirmed that total revenues rose to $3.22 billion for last year, with passenger numbers totaling 16.3 million. an increase of 4.3% over 2024. The airline is currently in the midst of a fleet renewal and enhanced customer experience program and remains bullish despite the current geopolitical situation, although, like all airlines at the moment, is extremely cautious about the volatility of fuel supplies coupled with the runaway price hikes that have been witnessed, and have issued a warning that operations may soon be affected if the situation continues. Let's hope it doesn't. Come on, Donald, pull your finger out, mate. Doha-based Qatar Airways continues to respond to the new world order created by the war being waged against the Iranians by the US and Israel. Since the crisis started on the 28th of February, Qatar, like its neighbouring airlines, has had to adapt quickly to a dynamic operating environment, and whilst some flights have resumed, 60 of the carrier's destinations remain offline from its current network. Schedule data also indicates that the airline has withdrawn its 8 Airbus A380s for at least the next 2 months, which to us makes absolute sense given the challenges it and other carriers in the region are dealing with at the moment. In the meantime, its 777s, Airbus A350s and 787 Dreamliners are keeping the Qatari flag flown around the world. The new terminal that has been built at Montreal's Metropolitan Airport is set to commence operations on the 15th of June, when Porter Airlines will take up residency, offering flights to St John's, Quebec City, Toronto's Pearson Airport and Vancouver. Porter will then add additional services during the opening week to Calgary, Charlottetown, Edmonton, Halifax, Hamilton, Moncton and Winnipeg. This is great news for customers as it will offer an alternative to Mirabel or Trudeau airports, and given its size, quite possibly a smoother experience all round. And looking at the images, it will be a great space to spend time in whilst waiting for a flight, providing it doesn't get too popular like London City Airport. It can be horrible there when it's busy. Thanks for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay safe. Bye for now. Kenyan operator Fly 748 has confirmed that it will resume operating scheduled services from May, following a 3-year absence. The airline will initially offer customers flights from Terminal 2 at Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta Airport to Mombasa and Ukunda, with additional routes anticipated in the coming months. The airline ceased scheduled flying in 2023 as the result of low demand and has concentrated since then on providing humanitarian flights for the United Nations based at Logichokio. In a recent press statement, the airline now feels that the time is right to return to scheduled flying to support tourism and regional economies, which it will do using its Dash 8 Q400s, and we wish them success. Air India's Chief Executive Officer Campbell Wilson has announced his intention to stand down from his role as soon as his successor can be found. Campbell has steered the company owned by the Tata Group through a number of significant challenges to include mergers, the introduction of around 100 new aircraft, reshaping the leadership team and workforce culture, as well as crucially taking a state-owned enterprise and all the bureaucracy that goes with it, especially in India because there's a lot of it, through to private sector operations. The airline has almost completed its program of rebuilding itself with Wilson at the helm, and he will certainly be leaving the airline in better shape than he found it, thus enabling his successor to concentrate on expanding the company into a global force as envisaged by the Tata Group when it acquired the carrier from the Indian state in 2022. In separate news, the airline has increased its fuel surcharges in response to the ongoing fuel crisis caused by the war in the Middle East. Customers purchasing tickets with the airline from today can expect to pay revised charges. For example, tickets to Europe will now carry a $205 fuel surcharge, and those to the US and Australia a $280 charge. The surcharges do not affect those who already hold tickets purchased before today. The world's most experienced carrier, KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, expects to receive its first Airbus A350-900 this summer. The aircraft was recently moved to the final assembly line at the European manufacturer's Toulouse plant and represents the first of 22 Airbus A350s the airline is acquiring in a €7 billion fleet renewal programme to enable the Amsterdam-based carrier to phase out its older Airbus A330s and Boeing 777s. The airline will also be phasing out its Boeing 747 freighter fleet, replacing them with the A350 freighter. The Angolan government intends to issue $186 million in bonds this year to recapitalise state-owned TAG Angola Airlines in a bid to strengthen its financial position and support the carrier's ongoing restructuring efforts, which it hopes will enable the airline to secure long-term sustainability in a period of difficult geopolitical upheaval. The African flag carrier is already working through its ambitious fleet renewal programme, as well as adapting its network to meet the growing needs of the nation it serves. And finally, Canadian leisure carrier Air Transat will launch a 3 times weekly service from the 15th of May between London Gatwick and the Canadian capital, Ottawa. Flights will operate on Tuesdays, Fridays and Sundays using the airline's Airbus A321 LRs and will be the first time the two airports have had a direct connection. That's us for today, folks. We'll be landing with you again tomorrow and look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, have a great day. Cargo capacity between Australia and Southeast Asia has seen a welcome boost with the introduction of twice-weekly services from Sydney to Singapore operated by Qantas Freight. This is the first time the Australian flag carrier has offered dedicated freighters to Southeast Asia, having previously relied on the belly capacity of its passenger aircraft. Flights operate from Sydney on Fridays and Sundays, offering up to 50 tonnes of capacity on each service flown by the airline's A330 freighters, which are routed via Shanghai, and we're absolutely certain that this is just the start of a plan to increase dedicated freighter operations by the carrier. Brotherns Regional Airlines of Sweden, who stopped operating their own scheduled services in 2024 and transitioned to an ACMI or Aircraft Crew Maintenance and Insurance operator, recently secured a much-needed extension to its wet lease agreement with Scandinavian Airlines. The agreement covers the provision of ATR 72-600s based at Stockholm's Arlanda Airport, as well as some flying from SAS's Copenhagen hub. The agreement will run until 2032 and was welcomed by the Swedish regulator, who has been working with the regional carrier through its restructuring plan, and the contract extension does now mean that the airline's immediate future is relatively secure. With the introduction of Airbus A321 XLRs to its fleet, Air Canada has announced the addition to its network of winter flights from both Montreal and Toronto to Tenerife in the Canary Islands. Services from Toronto commence on the 25th of October and will operate twice weekly, and a weekly service will be introduced from Montreal on the 31st of October. Both routes are currently slated to be seasonal and are expected to end in April 2027. Aussie low-cost carrier Jetstar has received its first refurbished Boeing 787 Dreamliner back from its refit in Hong Kong. The aircraft was pressed back into operational service on the 7th of April when it flew from Melbourne to Phuket. The cabin refit brings with it an enlarged business class, going from 21 to 44 seats in response, according to the carrier, to increased demand for premium travel at budget-friendly prices. We do love a bit of budget-friendly, that's for sure. Those less fortunate and sitting at the back in economy also benefit from all new Recaro seating with extra cushioning, device holders, USB charging, a 6-way adjustable headrest and a 5-inch recline. Ooh, they're spoiling us, aren't they? All 11 of the carrier's Dreamliners will receive the refit over the coming months, which also brings customers for the first time access to Wi-Fi connectivity for a fee. And finally, our dear friends at Scandinavian Airlines, who, as we know, are celebrating their 80th anniversary this year, are in extra jubilant mood, having been crowned the world's most punctual airline for March 2026 in Cirium's monthly on-time performance report, with an on-time arrival rate of 89.75%. That's going it, son. Well done you. They pipped Aeromexico to the top spot, with Spain's Iberia grabbing third place. The carrier has worked hard over recent years to tighten its operational performance on the ground, and it is now paying dividends. Last year, SAS was ranked third globally, and if March's performance is anything to go by, 2026 could well see the carrier move up the rankings. And we hope it does, as any excuse to raise a glass and say "Skål" has got to be a good thing, hasn't it? I'm sure it has. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with more news from the commercial aviation world. And until then, have a great day. Oslo Airport has set out its long-term expansion plans to boost cargo capacity to meet increased demand from freight exporters at the same time as optimising its infrastructure to support growing passenger numbers. The central part of the plan sees the relocation of the airport's cargo facility to the west side of the airfield, which will enable the company to construct a modern logistics and handling centre, giving it increased capacity and operational resilience. The relocation of the cargo facilities will free up valuable real estate for the construction of additional aircraft parking stands, leaving room for a potential terminal building extension when demand warrants it. The long-term plan is due to be delivered by 2040, with the cargo area project being in the first phase of works once investment approvals have been gained, and we wish them good luck with that. Staying with air freight, Cathay Cargo has launched its new managed booking capability for its online reservations platform, giving its customers direct control over booking modifications. The enhancement to its system comes in response to a long-standing industry challenge for freight forwarders to be able to make changes quickly once bookings are confirmed, without relying on phone calls, manual workflows, or for the carrier to follow up the change with the forwarder during normal office hours. This is a positive step and will no doubt be very welcome amongst the growing number of its customers. Libyan carrier Medsky Airways has introduced an Embraer E195LR on wet lease from Greek carrier Marathon Airlines, bolstering its existing fleet of 2 Airbus A320s as it prepares to launch its new twice-weekly service on the 21st of April from Tripoli to Madrid, and flights from both Benghazi and Tripoli to Dusseldorf from the 17th of May.
With the weekend just around the corner, it's time for a little self-indulgence. Visit our Air News boutique and feast your eyes on our stylish merch designed to tickle your taste buds. We've got 2 stores packed full of stuff to suit every budget. Grab yourself one of our cool-looking t-shirts, or maybe a hoodie. You could also be a mug and snag one of these little beauts. Or just get carried away in the excitement. You can even give your mobile phone a makeover. Visit airnewsdaily.tv, click on the boutique button and indulge yourself. Go on, you know you want to.
Struggling Vietnamese carrier Bamboo Airways is entering the second quarter of 2026 under increasing financial strain and pressure from its creditors, who we understand are making moves to seize assets tied to debts inherited from the airline's former parent, the FLC Group. Bizarrely, the seizure relates to 86,000 square metres of land in the Gai Lai province and not to the carrier's aircraft or equipment. The airline is already working through a restructuring plan that has seen it reduce its fleet and network as it battles to deal with the growing amount of red ink on its balance sheets. And whilst the land seizure doesn't have a direct impact on day-to-day activities for the airline, it demonstrates a tightening of the financial environment in which the carrier must navigate its fortunes, and at a time when fuel prices are like the Artemis II, rocketing out of this world. And finally, UK flag carrier British Airways, who has already suspended flights to the Middle East in response to the US and Israeli war on Iran, has announced its intention to reduce flights to the region when they resume. As we understand it, Riyadh will return to the carrier's network from mid-May, but will only operate once daily. Doha, Dubai and Tel Aviv will be operated just once daily when they return on the 1st of July, and Jeddah is dropped from the airline's route network indefinitely. The revision to its operations frees up aircraft that will now be redeployed to increase frequency and capacity to Bengaluru, Delhi, Hyderabad and Nairobi. Proof, if ever we needed it, that Donald's yippee-ki-yay attitude to the world order is redefining an entire region of our fragile Earth that has grown increasingly dependent on tourism for its economies, to say nothing of the pain that the rest of us are feeling. That's all from us for this week. Don't forget, you can always get in touch with us using your favourite social platform or via our website, airnewsdaily.tv. We'll be back again on Monday with our usual roundup of new routes from airlines around the world. In the meantime, try not to let the doom and the gloom caused by the inhabitant of the Oval Office spoil your weekend. See you next week.
We look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to Air News Daily to stay up to date with all the latest news from the commercial aviation world.